Hello, this is Matt Renfro, and I'm here today to talk to you about my biggest challenge I foresee in my role as an educator moving forward. And I'm sure it's the same as many people are going to be facing, and that is how the coronavirus is affecting the education world as we know it. So, in an instant, our classrooms went from looking like this to this. And for right now, this is how classrooms are looking. And there's a potential in the fall that the coronavirus has a flare up and we have to go back onto quarantine. Well, if this happens in the middle of the year, you're talking about a start and go type of scenario where we start school and then possibly we have to go on quarantine for 3 weeks and then resume classes. And I foresee in my district next year, if that's the case, then teachers are going to be expected to continue online instruction with their students, individualized instruction, as in each teacher is teaching their own content. Right now, my district just has a very blanketed curriculum for students to access right now. There's one English assignment for every sophomore English student. Well, I think in the fall, it's going to be an expectation that every teacher continues their own individualized classroom online. Now, obviously, with our degree here in instructional technology, this shouldn't be a huge challenge for us. The challenge I foresee, though, is the expedited time frame in which all of this is going to have to happen. I have to teach my students how to use all of the digital tools that I use in class. However, that's usually spanned out over the entire year. I don't start the school year and make sure that my students know how to use all of the Google apps that we use in class, and they know how to access Nearpod, and they know how to use Edpuzzle. These are things that I roll out throughout the entire school year. I foresee in the fall having to start my year instructing students how to use all of these tools. This is going to completely change the scope and sequence of my curriculum. So that's one challenge I see in this whole scenario is my scope and sequence has to be completely flipped upside down, and my students are going to have to know how to use these digital tools sooner than later, because who knows when we're going to have to go back on to a quarantine. And so that is definitely a challenge. But there's also going to be the big challenge of teachers who do not possess the skills and knowledge that we acquired at Fort Hays State University. They need training. And so I promise I will be looked to, at least in my English department, at the very least, to provide this kind of instruction. It's already happened. As soon as we went online, my department head contacted me and she wanted a quick list of tools for teachers that they can use online. Well, I can't just say, well, yeah, just go to Powtoon, look it up. I mean, I have to provide some type of instruction and guidance on how to do that. But at the same time, it's got to be pretty concise because time is of the essence. And I feel like that's going to be that case in the fall. Our professional developments and our PLC time are already taken up with so many things that are required to be covered throughout the school year that they're just not going to have the time to dedicate to every PLC being digital learning. And so I feel like there's going to be some very small windows where a lot of information is going to need to be delivered quickly to teachers, and they're going to have to learn how to use this stuff on a pretty rapidly. And I will show you what I've already had to do in order to try and um, alleviate that issue and what I'm trying to do to help teachers acclimate and learn as quickly as possible so they can adapt their classrooms to online education. So in my next video, I will go over what I've created.